Welcome back, everybody. This was not the video I was expecting to make today. I was really hoping to do another Tarkov Arena video, or even my next video on Command & Conquer Zero Hour. So this video is a bit out of the blue, but I was playing Escape from Tarkov today, and I just kind of got fed up. I'm done. I am quitting Escape from Tarkov as a whole. Before I continue this video, I want you to watch a video titled The Wiggle That Killed Tarkov. The link will be in the description down below. Watch this, and it'll explain everything in this video, and is a very good video in general that talks about the game and the issues that it has. Last year, when Escape from Tarkov wiped, I played it religiously for about a month or two. The limited hours I had to play games each day, all were dedicated to Tarkov, and this was also evident in my upload times, where there were large gaps between uploads because I was spending all of my time on Tarkov. If I didn't have time for PMC runs, I'd spam scav runs to make some quick cash and play the flea market to make even more money. I was almost debating on making a series on teaching new players the ropes on how to play. I wanted to see if I can learn more of the game to become a Sherpa. I really wanted to do this, and I really gave it thought and even started making scripts as to learning different aspects of the game, and I was really excited to do this. Unfortunately, this never happened, and at this rate, it never will. I had a friend that I played with throughout the about 2 months who was getting fed up with the game alongside me. At the beginning, it's always fun. When the game wipes, everybody's stats and inventories reset, so all players are on an even playing field. He quit, I believe, at around level 40 or 41. He was aiming for 42, but he said, screw it, I'm not doing it. And I quit around level 30, I think. It got to a point where we would spend maybe, I don't know, about 5 to 10 minutes setting up our PMCs with stuff for a raid, wait up to sometimes 10 minutes to load into a game, run to somewhere which can take anywhere between 5 to 15 minutes depending on the map size, sometimes more or less, and then dying immediately by someone far away in a single shot to the head, rinse and repeat. Not only did we quit due to the suspicion of cheaters in the game, but just realizing it started to feel like a time waste at this point, because it kept happening every single game. No matter the map, no matter the time, no matter what we brought into the raid. You could spend maybe 30 minutes, sometimes more or less, varies by the way, only to die in one shot to the head from a shot that came out of the void of Tarkov. You don't even hear the shot sometimes. It can seem miles away from you. You'll just be running, looting stuff. You think you got some good loot you're about to take out, right? You got a couple kills, maybe of scavs or NPCs, maybe even a boss. And then you'll die immediately to a single shot, not hearing a single thing. I really think this game needs a kill cam to see what in the world killed you. It's even better when it's a long-range shot by a person who doesn't even have a scope on their gun. Like they have a red dot or some type of sight that's no more than maybe a ×2 or even a ×3. Because after you die, you can look and see in the main menu who killed you and what they killed you with. You could see the gun and everything. So it's like, sweet. I'm having tons of fun. As for my opinion on the kill cam, because I know a lot of people don't want a kill cam in the game, it's kind of a mixed topic for Tarkov. I believe that if you're a solo player in a raid, it should work exactly how it does in Tarkov Arena. If you're playing with a team, I think that you should be able to watch it after the entire team dies, or the player that killed you dies, or the entire team with that player dies, so that you can't communicate about where exactly they shot you from, as that could be considered a small way of cheating, and I kind of agree with that. Since this ended up being so annoying and frequent almost every single match compared to when we started playing Tarkov, we just quit and went to go playing something else. So let's actually fast forward to the Tarkov Arena wipe. Let's finally get to why I'm making this video and why I am pretty annoyed with Escape from Tarkov, and that's the arena mode. We played this every day for about 2 to 3 weeks when it wiped. We'd never played it prior, so we thought, hey, let's play Tarkov without the time wasted feeling. I was like, sure, why not? This game was an absolute game changer. It's extremely fun and addictive. You'll have your good games and bad games. We've had plenty of times when we were at the top of our team, the bottom, all over. It was still fun trying out presets and seeing what we were the best at. However, let's get to the more relevant point I want to make. He quit about a week or so ago, and I was wondering why and would ask him about every other day, at least once or so, hey, you want to Tarkov it up? The response was, nope. Nah, I ain't playing that game. And I wondered why. And I kept going here and there in the game by myself, and then I started to realize why he quit. At the beginning, it was pretty balanced as to what games you'd be getting yourself into. You'll have some sweaty players, you'll have your average casual players like myself, and players who perform as if they're new to the game, or, some people play almost as if they're like a bot. You'll have this. This is in every competitive shooter. There's nothing wrong with this, by the way, as I always appreciate new players coming to games and learning it, especially since I said earlier in the video that I wanted to teach new players how to play. So I'm always down for new players to join a game. For the past week up until today, though, something about Arena feels different. The team, the balance feels a lot more unbalanced. The enemy team seems to be getting the sweaty players and maybe 1 or 2 casual players, whereas my team is usually the casuals and the new players. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what happened in those games. Pretty much every single game went the exact same way. Our team would maybe have a kill or 2 for each player, sometimes none for the entire game, and that was me many times recently. Then you look at the other team. They have an insanely positive KD for almost all of the players on that team. Many times, you'll even have that one person on the enemy team who single-handedly dominated your entire team and might have 1 or 2 deaths overall and just keeps dominating every single round. I forgot when I started counting, so I started randomly and counted to 6. 6 games. Probably way more than this, but it just got to a point where I wanted to start counting, and I was like, I'll start here. So this could probably almost be double this number. Every game was like this. My team may have had 1 or 2 people who were on the fine line of being positive KD-wise. And then here I was with a few others, maybe 1 or 2, sometimes 0 kills the entire match, dying every single round. Similar to the regular Tarkov as well. 1 shot to the head. Granted, this game is a lot more close quarters, but still, watching the kill cam, you can't tell if they're aiming down the sights or not, as it's a bugged thing, and you get quote-unquote hip-fired from far away and shot in the head in a matter of like 1 or 2 shots. Or you got the person who does this nastiest rush of all time and books it straight into our spawn and just annihilates everybody in less than a minute or 2. You can almost smell the sweat on the palms of this guy and his mouse. Why do I never get to be the one on these teams? Why is my team and I always being destroyed by the enemy team? This has happened every game I've been in so far. I don't know if this game has skill-based matchmaking, but looking back at the issues from regular Tarkov, I'm really starting to think they are infecting Arena as well, especially considering Arena is cheaper than Escape from Tarkov. I think Escape from Tarkov, the regular game, is about $50 if I'm not mistaken, and Arena is $35. I'll put a screenshot on the screen in terms of how much they cost, in case I'm wrong. But once again, to get back to the point, the issues that I'm having were not present a few weeks ago when I started. I was having tons of fun. Like I said, I have my good games, my bad games, mixed games, like any other shooter. And there's nothing wrong with that. As long as you're having fun, that's all that matters. Lately, though, every single game has been bad. It's not even not even like a fun competition. I miss being top 3 on a leaderboard for the match. I was top of the team a couple times a few weeks ago. Now kiss that goodbye. This is also on Tier 1, mind you, so it's not like these enemy players have OP weapons, I mean, other than the G36, but everybody on Tier 1, if you unlock all the Tier 1 presets, it's an even playing field. You all have the same stuff. You don't really get to customize your loadouts, they're all pre-made. And it doesn't help that sometimes it's very hard to detect somebody cheating or not, as they hide it very well, at least in my experience playing against what appeared to be a sus player. You know, the ones who one-shot you from far away, the ones who get some wacky pre-fire kill on you from around the corner instantly, the millisecond you start to round it. My other issue I've had quite a few times, not the fault of the players though, but I'll be shooting at an enemy, spraying or tapping many times, and seeing blood splash behind them every single shot, indicating, yes, they were hit. A good number of shots. Then they destroy me in less than a second. I watched a kill cam, and it shows me shooting way less than I actually did, and only landing maybe 1 or 2 shots, as opposed to what I saw happen on my screen. It's 10 out of 10 netcode, am I right? I'd also love to know what happened to the times when I'm, finding a match. Weeks ago, I'd find a game and pick a preset and be good to go in under 5 minutes. Sometimes almost under 3, and that was really nice. Very quick games, very quick queue times. Now, I could be waiting up to 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Most of that lately has just been waiting for players. So there are times where it can go over 10 minutes. And then if somebody disconnects or something from the queue, it searches all over again for a new map, and you go through the process all over again. You could be waiting up to 20 minutes to find a game. That's a great matchmaking time. How to summarize this video, though? I'm done. I clearly can't escape from Tarkov. I'm nowhere near the best player at the game, nor do I want to be. I play games just to have fun, not to see a magical number go up. That ends up being nothing. I thought I was pretty good weeks ago. I held my own. I had my fair share of deleting the entire enemy team myself, or getting triples or quads. It was so unbelievably satisfying. Especially due to the fact that I'm not that great at competitive shooters. My aim, as you've seen, when I'm playing competitive shooters, I don't have the best aim. I can hold my own, but there are plenty of people better than me, because I don't mainly play competitive shooters. So just being able to be that player felt amazing. I can't dedicate all my time to one game and master it. I play, once again, I do a variety of games that I play, as you can see from the channel as well. I like playing a bunch of different stuff that I feel like playing. And that also prevents me burning out of a game. So I don't really get bored of games as easily if I'm just kind of switching on and off here and there. The balance of matches, being able to be part of the team that dominates the entire game, and having that occasional game where your team goes 0-5. There's nothing wrong with that. My favorite is when both teams are about equal, and it goes back and forth until it comes down to a 4-4, where the last round is anybody's game. That's my favorite. But for the past week up until today, I've never seen that. I quit CS2, Counter-Strike 2, to come to Tarkov Arena, because that game, it has way more issues than Tarkov does. Way more. I almost want to make a follow-up video on it because it's in an extremely sad state, especially since I made my last video. Ooh, but that's a whole, like I said, that's a whole different video. I really do hope something is done to help with the balancing of matchmaking, along with doing something about the cheating problem. I really, once again, when I talked about this at the beginning of the video, I really wanted to make a series teaching new players how to play. And I started making scripts for topics and stuff. I was so excited to do it. Tarkov is still one of my favorite games of all time. Probably one of my favorite shooters. From a gameplay standpoint, it has literally everything I want out of a realistic tactical shooter. And again, from a gameplay standpoint, this game is literally 99% perfect. Sure, it has a few gameplay issues here and there, but they're very minimal and not super noticeable unless you look at it through a magnifying glass. Since I don't care about maxing out or anything, I just wanted to get to level 32, get most of my traders up there to a point that I'm fine with it, and stop worrying about questing. I wanted to focus on making cash, I wanted to help out new players, and practice on PvP. And I also wanted to learn more of the maps, and hopefully become a Sherpa one day. And I've said this a couple times now, but in case you don't know, a Sherpa is a player who is a guide for new players. But at the end of the day, I really hope these issues are resolved. I want to binge these games again, both the standard game and arena, since I love the style of shooter. But due to the issues I've been having, I might have to find something else in the meantime because it's just a time waste. And that's just my opinion on it. Insurgency Sandstorm, I made a video on that game about that being my favorite shooter of all time, but slowly that's actually going down because it really isn't cutting it as much as it did, but that's for an entirely different video. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and feel free to dislike it if you disliked it. Let me know in the comments what you think, and once again, if you didn't, be sure to check out the video in the description. It's a great video that talks about why Tarkov is in the state that it's in. And that's all I have. Thank you for watching.